Hello sawubona mbukeli. Sasifikile thina nentandokazi yohlelo lakho Yilungeo lakho, it's your right. Siza kuni bukhoma la ngihamba phambili SABC 1 eMzansi for sure. Uyazi ke eyakajali intokazi emhlophe isiphalaphala Alisha uNhlanhloma uthanda usefikile esinje. Sawubona mbukeli, you can get hold of us namhlanje. We are live. Ungasithinta la ku 0117146918, alternatively 7146919. Ungasithinta ku consumer@sabc.co.za. Of course, email address yethu usithole futhi lapha ku Facebook as well as on amalokuzana ama social media networks ethu. Now mbukeli, distressed workers that were not registered with the UIF can now apply for special COVID-19 relief benefits, as the Department of Labour has since declared that all workers will now benefit if they were not registered for UIF. Now Ms. Kelly Cropman, who is an attorney who challenged the unfairness of the relief scheme because it only benefited only employees registered to UIF, will explain the implications of this development. We are also hoping mbukeli ukuthi sikhulume ngale 350 rand COVID-19 grant government abeka khulume ngayo. Sisazama ukuthi sinitholele an official from SASSA. But right now, let's welcome our hero this afternoon, Ms. Kelly Cropman, an attorney at Kelly Cropman Inc., joining us via Skype. Kelly, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. What an outrageously generous introduction you've given me. I don't think it's quite paints the real picture, but thank you very much nonetheless.
Well, do paint us the real picture then, Kelly. I mean, we understand that you were very central in this initiative that actually resulted in this new directive, which is great news for many consumers. We know that previously the specialized COVID-19 UIF as well as TERS scheme was only provided if employers were able to apply on the employee's behalf. So tell us a bit about what necessitated this action and what actually entailed the details of this initiative.
Okay, so I was initially approached by the Casual Workers Advice Office, which is an amazing organization representing non-organized, non-unionized workers in South Africa. Mm-hmm. They were receiving tremendous amounts of complaints from people who were either registered for UIF, where their employers were not claiming in terms of TERS,
yes, and
also for the many thousands, if not millions, of workers in South Africa who are not UIF registered. These include seasonal and non-seasonal farm workers, as well as domestic workers and other people who are in semi-formal labor. The problem was twofold. Firstly, only employers could apply for the TERS relief, mm-hmm, and it was not compulsory for them to do so. Secondly, it was only for UIF registered people. And when you consider what the Constitution says about social relief being something that everybody is entitled to, this was nonsensical. Mm-hmm. So the Casual Workers Advice Office, as well as ISWI, Domestic Workers Alliance, the Women on Farms Project, wanted to challenge the regulations as they stood for being unconstitutional. There were several letters of demand that were sent beforehand, which the response from the Department of Labour was largely, we understand that there's a problem, but please be patient with us. Mm. Which was not a satisfactory answer when you consider the amount of time that people were without any form of income. So these are people that were earning, many of whom were earning minimum wage, but were earning enough to support family as well as extended family.
Yes.
And clearly being without that for 8 weeks places a lot of people in a dire position. Mm. So we as a legal team decided that if the Department of Labour was not able to address our queries and grievances in a timeliest manner, that we would take them to court, specifically on the basis that these regulations were unconstitutional because they are social security for people, and everybody means everybody, and the Constitution says that everybody is entitled to social support, social security. We had launched the application on the 13th of May, and on the 15th of May, the Department of Labour published regulations that said that even employees, although they had to be registered for UIF, could apply for the TERS benefit.
Okay.
Then we were due to go to court on the 28th of August, on the 28th of May, and on the 26th, our second request that non-UIF registered workers would also be entitled to the TERS benefit was published. And so there was no need for us to go to court because everything that my clients had asked for was being provided for.
All right, and Kelly, I mean, let's talk about your clients here. I mean, you mentioned that, of course, it was the Casual Workers Advice Office and, of course, Women on Farms Project, as well as the Ease with Domestic Workers that approached you for assistance. Do you find that this is the general practice that, you know, these employers in these sectors, in these particular sectors, are the ones that are generally non-compliant when it comes to registering their employees on the UIF scheme and also following protocol in terms of having a general contract, in terms of having a worker and employer type of relationship? Do you find that these are commonly the sectors that are non-compliant when it comes to these issues?
Well, these are generally some of the sectors. I'd be hesitant to demonize just domestic workers and farm workers as being the only ones that are in a precarious position.
Yes.
There are certainly many others in many other industries.
We're going to talk about those. We're going to talk about them as the show goes on. All right.
Yeah,
all right.
No, who are at the mercy of their employers. You know, they're casual workers, they're piece workers, many of whom don't get pay slips, don't get any form of benefit. There are also certainly many workers out there who have been told that they are UIF registered and then only to find that they are not at the end. So, yeah, the reason Casual Workers Advice Office does not specify who they represent is because they have found that there are so many different circumstances that people find themselves in where they are without protection. And indeed, the majority of the workforce in South Africa is not unionized and doesn't have the benefit of collective bargaining.
All right, Kelly, we're going to continue more on this discussion after the break. Mbukeli, as you are hearing, sekuyashiwo lapho ukuthi i-Department of Labour ithemizwa kuthiwa kuzo-announce le kuzoyiwa enkantolo yasho ukuthi nawe njengomsebenzi phela usungahamba uyiyele wena ukuzi-aplayela i-UIF even if umuntu omsebenzelayo engazange akurejiste lapho ukuthi ukhone ukuthi uthole imali yakho ngalesikhathi se-COVID. Asibambe lapho, siyabuya emva kwekhefu. I also understand we might have that very important SASSA official ukuthi bazositshela ukuthi kwenzakalani bo ngama-350 abantu. Siyabuya emva kwekhefu. Mbukeli, welcome back. Izingcingo zethu seyivuliwe ukuthi nawe phela ubambe iqhaza la e-studio 011 that is the number to call. 714-6918. Angisaphapi nje. 011-714-6919 is the alternative number. You can also, of course, email us your views to consume@sabc.co.za. Noma usithole lapha ku Facebook. Ngihlalelana no Kelly Cropman, who's an attorney at Kelly Cropman Inc. Okuyena ke Mbukeli osize abasebenzi la bebe complain ukuthi thina ke abasebenzi bethu abaphathi bethu emsebenzini abazange basiregister ku UIF sesihlele emakhaya asinayo imali bahamba ke bathola ukuthi bakhona ukuthi bakwazi ukuthi bapersuade i-Labour Department njengoba eshilo ke uminister lapho uThula Sinxesi waze wabatshela ukuthi if kuukuthi wena ungumsebenzi and umphathi wakho akazange akuregister ku UIF or for TERS uhlele ekhaya awuthola imali usuyakhona ukuthi uhambe wena as an individual person, as umuntu uyihambela uyoregistela laphayana for ama-benefits e-UIF uzokhona bandla ukuthi uthole imali. Now, Kelly, let's talk about this. I mean, let's talk about How will the workers then go about accessing this relief under this new directive? Let's talk about that. And which workers are we referring to in particular that will now have access to the UIF as well as TERS benefit under this new directive?
So this directive only applies to the TERS benefit and not UIF generally.
Okay.
I have been receiving, as well as my clients been receiving, many calls about the difficulties that they've been faced with in terms of accessing the TERS benefit in the face of the new regulations.
Yes.
What the directive says is that anybody who, through no fault of their own, ought to have been UIF registered but were not, are also able to access the TERS benefit. Mm-hmm. However, when people in their individual capacities, whether it be people engaging in domestic work, piecework, farm work, approach the UIF to make a TERS claim, there is no certainty how that works. The TERS department, which I believe is housed in the Pretoria office of the UIF, has not received new instructions on how to make the application. So if somebody was an employee, is an employee, and should have been receiving the TERS benefit, but were not registered for UIF, they should be able to go online and apply as an individual without a UIF registered number. This is not happening in practice. Over and above that issue, there have been other problems that individuals have been faced with. Workers are not able to check if their employees have applied for TERS on their behalf already. They cannot check if the application was submitted for themselves or for all workers. The workers also cannot check if the employer's applications have been rejected and what the reasons for that rejection were. Sometimes the rejection is because a document was scanned incorrectly or was not legible. There's no way for workers to check the reasons that applications were rejected, as I said. And the employers that have received payments, the workers can't ascertain how much and for whom. And there is a failure to publish how much each worker was allocated. Now, there is a minimum within the regulations that each worker must receive a minimum of 3,500 per month,
yes,
in terms of the TERS benefit on a sliding scale. But there have been many reports of workers receiving less. And the reason they received less is very unclear. So I think that the TERS scheme has been introduced with the best of intentions, but I think that the implementation of new directives hasn't been picked up quite as quickly as it needs to. And over and above that, I think that the UIF hasn't been quick to realize its own mistakes and correct them. I think that they're inundated with requests and applications. There was also a problem earlier on last month where an undersea cable snapped and their entire internet went down and crashed the application system. So I think that there's a lot more manpower that's needed. This is an outsider's perspective.
Yes.
And there needs to be a mechanism to address the mistakes and the difficulties. To date, there really is no communication on how the UIF is tuned to deal with non-UIF registered workers, especially those that may not have a bank account or may have been paid in cash, because many farm workers are paid in cash and don't have bank accounts.
That's true. Kelly, I mean, maybe let's continue on that. I mean, so this also, I mean, with the new directive being there, it doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, the UIF or the Labour Department is going to now roll out this scheme in a proper timeous manner. Let's talk about the directive now. Is it just for this COVID relief period or it's indefinite? Are people going to be able to go to the UIF as individuals and register themselves as workers without their employers having to submit certain forms and so forth? And how long is this? I mean, is it just for the special time or it's going to be indefinite?
No, unfortunately, this is just for the special time relating to COVID. And it is only relating to people who have lost their source of employment due to COVID. So, or rather, let me say due to the lockdown. So if somebody works on in a factory and the factory closed and therefore could not pay their workers for the period of the lockdown, then people would be entitled to claim. They are entitled to claim if the application only comes in now, although they haven't earned since March.
Look, Kelly, in your expert view, I mean, the UIF process and application, do you think it should be left solely to the employers to process? I mean, I think in this particular crisis, we've actually unearthed a myriad of problems, of non-compliance issues by certain employers that we're actually mentioning earlier on. I mean, these are farm workers, these are casual workers, these are freelancers, these are non-formal workers that are not on a payroll system. So do you think it should be made, do you also think that maybe there should be reinforcements around making employers being forced, or some sort of regulation being put down that every person who employs a worker needs to go and register that worker under certain terms and conditions? Because this is what we're seeing now. It's a result of people. Our Labour Department was not checking up on the fact that all these companies were compliant with the sector.
Indeed so. I think that the regulatory framework that is in place is more of a deterrent if somebody is non-compliant. Because if somebody is non-compliant now, there would be massive fines involved in becoming compliant. And that means that if you've employed somebody for the past 5 years and now are suddenly interested in registering them for UIF, you're in for all of the back payments as well as a fine. Perhaps the government could use the strategy of a carrot instead of a stick and entice people to register by creating an amnesty and an ability to pay off the back payments that would be due for that employee. I think that many employers want to run away from any regulatory processes because they are complicated and because it's difficult to work with government. And speaking on experiences from friends, applying and trying to receive your maternity benefits have been difficult. Trying to receive all sorts of benefits from the UIF that people are entitled to has been extremely difficult. So employers tend to want to move away from this, especially if they can. And perhaps the government needs to make it easier for people to comply in order to entice them to do so. If I was faced with a situation where I had non-UIF registered employees and I thought, goodness, I've got tens of thousands of rands in fines as well as the back payments that I'd have to pay, perhaps I'd also hope that I could stay under the radar and the labour inspectors didn't find me. My idea in times of these crises is to say perhaps we need to entice people to become compliant as opposed to vilify them for not being compliant up until this point.
Absolutely.
And I'm thinking specifically in the cases of domestic workers who should be registered for UIF but are not, and the many, many employers who have not bothered to do so and now look at the TERS scheme and say, oh goodness, I wish I was registered, but instead I'm just not going to pay this person who helps me with running my entire life, which is all too prevalent.
Well, it all sounds like it's quite an angering process. I mean, you're hearing stories about people that have been sitting at home. We know there's sectors like your hair salons that are still not operating. Those people are sitting at home, and I mean, my barber was telling me that they cannot access any money because the employer has not registered them for UIF. So it's going to be quite something to see. Well, that's Kelly Kropman. I'm hoping that we're going to continue discussions with her after the break. But Mbugeli, do join us after the break, because Sinai Usizodwa Mvulane, who's the regional manager SASSA, uzositshela ngama-350 abantu abakhokhelwe manje siyezwa kuthiwa abantu kade bemele ukuthi hey sikhokhelwa nini ama-350 ethu. We're back shortly after this. Don't go anywhere. Mbogeli, welcome back. Ungasithinta la studio. We are live 011-714-6918 or 714-6919 is the number to call lana studio. Mangabe phela na ufuna ukuba ingxenye of our discussion today. Now, the progress that has been made to pay u-350 to unemployed people till October 2020 and the challenges that hampered delivery on this promise going forward. This is what we're looking at now. Mbogeli, kade abantu bengibuza how majali wakhuluma nge-350, only 10 people were paid. As we understand, as of last week, more than 100,000 people were paid. Kodwa ithi mina ngingabi spokesperson SASSA. Let me welcome Ntokazi uSizodwa Mvulane, who is the regional manager at SASSA. Sizodwa Ntokazi, thank you so much for joining us.
Ngibingelele nabamameli.
Siyakwamukela Ntokazi. Ntokazi, awusichazele, I mean, ziningi izinto ezenzakele since umongameli esho ukuthi abantu abangasebenzi bazokhona ukuthi bahole u-350 obizwa i-unemployment grant under i-special COVID-19 relief fund. Awusichazele mhlambe yini ama-challenges ebenihlangene nawo, and so how far are you in terms of ukuthi niwa-resolve lawo ma-challenges at this stage?
Bengiqala ithi ngiqale ngokuthi sesikwazile ukubhadala.
Okay.
Siqale ngeyi-27.
Okay.
Ukuzofika namhlanje sisibhadala abantu abayi-150,000.
Okay, 160,000. Okay.
Ukuthi into yokuqala ethathe ukuthi sithathe isikhathi eside besingazilungiselelanga le grant. Le grant asibhadali sisebenzisa ihlelo leli esilisebenzisayo lokubhadala ama-ordinary grant awabantwana nabantu abadala. So bekufuneka siqale nje busha, yilonto ubone mase senza lama grant sa introduce ukuthi makwenziwe ngeWhatsApp, kuyinto entsha kithi nakuma applicant ethu.
Okay.
Nokuthi si-introduce le number le ebizwa i-USSD enostar 134.
Okay.
So iyo into yokuqala yaba ama-challenge ukuthi nje sikwazi ukuba naleyo system ibe up and running.
Okay.
Then into yesibini eyenza ukuthi kube namanye ama-challenge, ama-partners ethu la si-checka khona for ukuthi uqualifyile na, ngoba mawuceda ukuzi-apply funeka si-check ukuthi uyaqualify. Into yokuqala funeka silinke no-Home Affairs, si-check le ID number yakho sinikeza yona ukuthi i-right. Mase sigqiba ngaleyo funeka si-check-e into eyesithathu si-check-ayo ukuthi awuna any income. So leyo siya kuma-department amaninzinyana. Eyokuqala yi-department ye-labor, ukuthi awusebenzi na, awuna leon, and then neyentelo yokuthi akuna tax oyibhadalayo ngolunye uhlobo lokuthi uyasebenza. So kuthatha isikhathinyana mara okwamanje seyiyasebenza i-right. Now i-challenge enye eyesine esidibene nayo yokuverifya ama-bank account.
Okay.
Khumbula ukuthi uya-applya, then bese siyokuchecka mawuphase leyo eyokuqala yokuthi now you qualify, sibuyela kuwe sithi sinikeze i-bank account. Mawuceda ukusinikeza i-bank account funeka siye kule bank wena osilayele kuyo. Mawuzobhenka ne-FNB siye FNB siyochecka ukuthi le account i-right na. Kuthatha ixesha nakhona ukuchecka ukuthi i-account i-right. So now that sitestile izinto sezihamba kahle, i-pace seyongezekile ke ngoku. So inkinga enkulu esinayo ukuthi ama-client or ama-applicant ethu ba-applya kabini kathathu or abanye ba-applya more than 5 times. Singazi ukuthi why ba-applya, abayithembi le process or linhliziyo. So iyo inkinga enkulu esidibene nayo ukuthi i-numbers zethu ziye phezulu kakhulu ngoba abantu beba-applya 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, ngizwile Ntokazi ukuthi most, in fact, over 50% of ama-applications were ama-duplicates. But asiqhubeke kule point oqeda ukisho, ngiyeza ukuthi uthi on behalf of SASSA bekunenkinga, of course, teething problems ukuthi le grant ebizokhokhwa akuyona i-grant efana nalawo amanye enjwayele ukuthi niwenze, meaning you had to put new systems in place. But then abantu abaningi bayabuza Sizodwa ukuthi njengoba ke kungelona iphutha labo ukuthi kuthathe isikhathi esingaka ukuthi le mali iziqale ikhokhwe. If I remember correctly, uhulumeni, ugovernment, upresident wa-announce around April ukuthi abantu abangasebenzi bazokhona ukuthi bathole le 350, but umanje I think niqale ukhokha towards the end of May, I think late May, 20 May and so forth. So bayabuza abantu ukuthi izoba yini, izofika isu-700 rand in lento isekune back pay uma umuntu engazange azayithole the first month, because it wasn't i-fault yabo abantu ukuthi bangakhona ukuthi bayithole le mali. Nina benisalungisa ama-systems enu.
Bazoyifumana yonke imali yabo. Kahle upresident maka announce bekathe ekuqaleni kwenyanga yaka May sizoqala ukubhadala.
Okay.
But umuntu oyi-one ofuna even though u-applyile every month sizokuchecka mawube awukafumani umsebenzi uyayifumana, so uzothola ama-payment ayi-6.
Okay.
It might even go beyond October lo osimbekele.
Okay.
But imali yakho ama-350 times 6 uzowafumana enjalo.
Okay, Ntokazi, thank you for clarity on that. Asithathi ikhefu-ke manje soqhubeka nawe Ntokazi, ungayindawo, please stay on the line. Nambukeli, you can be part of this discussion on 011-714-6918 or 6919. We're back shortly after this. We're talking the 350 Rand grant by SASSA and of course imzamo emisha by Labour Department ukuthi wonke umuntu oqashiwe akhona ukuthi ayoregistela phela ukuthi akhone ukuthola ama-benefits e-UIF. We're back shortly after this break. Bogeli, welcome back. Ungasithinda la studio. We are live on 011-714-6918 or 714-6919. Ngisenayo Ntokazi uSizodwa Mvolane, the regional manager wase SASSA, as well as uKelly Cropman we-Kelly Cropman Inc. Uyena ummeli-ke lapha eKelly Cropman Inc. Yena kusitshela nge-UIF and the new directive mbukeli ekhishwe i-Labour Department. But ithi ngibuyele kuSizodwa. Sizodwa, let's talk about this. I mean, kade ungitshela lana ukuthi senize nayilungisa indaba ye WhatsApp line. There were reports ukuthi le WhatsApp line enaniyikhipile before ibingasebenzi yangena komunye umama, and there was issues around that. So how far are you with that? Sicela usiphe inumber entsha, if you can just confirm it for us, and if people can still be able ukuthi bakwazi ukuthi ba-applyele le 350 grant, and yizini abayidingayo ukuze ba-qualify for le grant Ntokazi?
Inumber yethu ye-WhatsApp yi-082 046 8553.
Yebo sisi.
Yi-number abantu kufuneka into bayenze ukuthi kufuneka uyistore kwifoni yakho uzokwazi-ke ukuthi ungathumela-ke i-WhatsApp for i-application process.
Okay, ngicela uyiphinde lo number Ntokazi.
082
Yes.
046
Yes.
8553.
8553. Okay Ntokazi. And ilabo ethola khona iWhatsApp lapho yimiphi mhlawumbe eminye imizamo abangazama ngayo if umuntu engakhona ukuthi a-WhatsApp bayakhona uku-SMS or ba-email?
Yeah, mabangakwazi ukwenza iWhatsApp mabe ungasebenzisa olunye uhlobo lo lesibiza ngokuthi i-star 134 star 77
37
37 hash.
Yebo Ntokazi.
Then email u-SRD ngama-capital letters at SASSA SASSA.gov.za.
All right Ntokazi, ngicela ubambe nje kanjalo. We also have that information for you lapha escreenini Mbukeli. I hope you are taking note. Those are the numbers for WhatsApp, and of course ungasebenzisa i-SMS, and of course ungasebenzisa futhi i-email. We're going to keep them there. Let me go to our first caller on the line. Luvuyo, all the way from Cape Town. Potani put. Siphilile tata njani?
Khona njengoba ndiyakuvela uthethayo into bama iqale ngoMeyi ne.
Yebo ma.
So nguJuni ngoku, but sibona ekaJuni sibone lekaMeyi, but Besifuna ukubuza nje loo nto kukhona bendimbuzana.
Okay, Tatu Luvuyo, thank you so much. Sizodwa, I think ubhuti Luvuyo akazange asizwe when you were explaining ukuthi even if it's beyond October, for 6 months, even if imali yakho uqale ukuyi-receive by June and so forth, at the end of the day, you will still be receiving this 350 Rand for the next 6 months. Am I correct?
Yeah, right. Siyayifumana yonke zoyi-6 imali zakhe.
Okay. All right, so people don't be in a panic. Ayizungena as a back pay, so you're not going to get it as 700 Rand because bamise the other month. You're just going to get 350 so that uzokhona ukuthi wenze lezo zinto ekumele uzenze. But Luvuyo, I hope ukuthi usizakele lapho. Thank you so much for calling us. Sizodwa, maybe let's look at this also. There's been widespread reports ukuthi the communication by iside lenu SASSA, it's not sufficient. Abantu abanye, I mean, I've received SMSs up. People are saying that yes, they've applied for Inansika for this unemployment grant. They got a message ukuthi ama details wabo azo verify, but since nothing has been said, I was getting a lot of calls from Durban. People are saying yes, but we got the numbers. We weren't even told when the new WhatsApp number was given. So people were struggling to understand ukuthi kahle kahle yini ekumele bayenze. And that is why a lot of people were flocking to ama office wenu beza bezo apply ema office wenu. So asikhulume nge-communication lana ntokazi, mhlambe bangayithola phi imininingwane egculile ukuthi bakwazi ukuthi phela benze izinto ekumele bazenze mayelana noku-apply either online or ukuthi beze ema-office.
I think sineka ngiqale ngokuthi ngixolise ngokungakwazi ukuthi sikhiphe imininingwane kahle.
Yebo ma.
Into yokuqala abantu aba-apply ngaleya number yakudala eye-COVID. I-applications zabo saziphethe. The only thing ebesidinga kubo ukuba baye bafumana ama-SMS ukuthi basiconfirmele ukusinikeza i-authority ukuthi sijonge i-financial status zabo.
Okay.
So there was no need ukuthi ba-apply butho.
Okay.
Yeah, but then information sesivulile ama-office. So mabe kunomuntu ongazi nix ngalolu hlobo or ofuna noncedo, ama-office ethu avuliwe ayasebenza from 7:30 in the morning ukufika ngo-4 bangakwazi ukuthola lonke usizo abalufunayo. Then enye into esiyenzayo sinama-pamphlet njengama-media amafana nale esikuyo ngoku ukuhambisa yonke information nemininingwane abayidingayo. Siza improve kuyinto kwi-communication, but siyazama ngayo yonke into esiyenzayo nokuthi sibe nama-placard pamphlets esiwenzayo sohamba siwabeka la izitoro nakuma-tribal office ukuthi abantu bazi ukuthi information abayidingayo.
All right, Ntokazi, we're going to talk more about this. Nokuthi abantu hlampe ikhona neminye imizamo isaseyenzayo ukuthi hlampe laba abangena ama-bank account ukuthi nizame ukubakhokhela kule itolo that you currently have partnerships with. Mbukeli, we're back shortly after this break. You're watching Yilungeo Lakho live on SABC 1 in Mzansi for sure with myself Alicia Ntokazi yakajali phansi emanzi imtoti Mbukeli sikhuluma nge-350 unemployment grant government athe uzonikeza labo bantu abantulayo futhi abangasebenzi. With me on the line is of course regional manager SASSA Ntokazi uSizodwa Mvulane. Sizodwa, before ngiye ekhefini Ntokazi, I wanted to know kade ugxila la ekutheni abantu you need to verify ama-banking details and so forth and so forth. And I understand, also check my notes, I think my applications were about 600,000 of them. Gulo 600,000 benmele ukuthi ni verify ama banking details alabo bantu. Okay, is there no other way, ma, as you know, ukuthi ama beneficiaries wenu, you currently have ama partnerships with itolo like ama supermarkets engengwabizo kwamanje, but enjengo Shoprite where abantu can actually go and get ama grant wabo. Is it not possible then for labo abangenayo hlampe ama banking details ukuthi hlampe nizobafaka kule scheme ukuthi bakhona ukuyocollecta lezi imali zabo, because we often find ukuthi umuntu mengasasebenza akakhona ngisho ukuvula ibank account Ntokazi?
elinye hlobo esizobhadala ngalo SABC sibhadala ngalo manje elesibini through lento esibiza i-voucher.
Okay. Isebenza kanjani i-voucher Ntokazi?
I-voucher uyalona mawungena bank account siyakubuza ukuthi bank ekufutshane nawe ngeyiphi mawube eseduze Nedbank or FNB or Standard Bank sizothumelela imali through le bizaba e-wallet.
Okay.
So but leyo i-phone number le osiphe yona kufanele ibe egama lakho.
Okay.
So ngoba kufanele sazi ukuthi sibhadala the right person.
Okay.
So if usebenzisa i-phone number usinikeza i-number kufanele sicheke mawube yakho leyo number uzakwazi ukuyithola ngalolu hlobo.
Okay.
Then eyesithathu esibhadala ngayo mawungakwazi ukuya through i-voucher or i-bank account okwamanje sithethe ne-post office or ilona i-subsidiary yabo i-post bank. Uzawuya ke eposini uyokwazi ukuthi uthole le mali over the counter.
All right.
Sisathetha nabo iy'toro lezi amaspaza ney'toro ezinkulu njengoba usho singakwazi ukuthi singazikhuluma amagama okwamanje. But ngoba leyo ifuna i-process esibiza ukuthi ye-procurement ifuneka senze i-contract nabo phambi kobe senze but sicinga ukuthi before uJune aphela sizabe sikwazi ukuthi mawungakwazi ukuyithola through iposi or iposi likude nawe both ama-bank for i-wallet or i-account ungakwazi uku-accessa leyo kube ney'toro ezithize ongakwazi ukuthi uyo-accessa leyo mali yakho. Then mawufika khona sizokunikeza ne-option or lento esibiza i-choice yokuthi ufuna imali or ufuna ilona izinto in lieu of le mali le ngabe uyayithola.
Okay.
Or uthathe mhlambi ukudla kwe-100 bese uthathe ilo eshiyekayo uyithathe njenge-cash.
Okay, Ntokazi. All right, but and then I mean let's talk about lama applicants Ntokazi who don't get approval abahlele emakhaya bangakazi ukuthi ama applications wabo approviwe or not. Kwenzakalani? I mean what would mitigate ukuthi umuntu angakhona uqualify for this unemployment relief fund grant but uhlele ekhaya akekho unemployed? How else can they further prove ukuthi lo muntu akasebenzi?
No, wena nje mawusinikeze i-ID number yakho wa-apply into oqala thina siyenza si-check-a through i-system le yethu esibize sokubhena ukuthi akuna-grant of any type oyitholayo from kwaSASSA.
Okay.
Eyokuqala leyo. Eyesibini si-check-a wonke lo muntu omtsha othola i-government bursary through i-NSFAS.
Yep.
Mawungekho lapho nako NSFAS uzabe sowuphase i-loop yesibili. I-loop yesithathu sijonga wonke umuntu oqashwe u-government through u-local government or isiphoyisa sokunalama lento esibiza i-PERSAL or i-PERSOL yokuthi awusiphoyisa awusisoja kanjalo.
Okay.
Then lezi ezinye zi-2 yokuthi awubhadala intela one way or another ebonisa nje ukuthi unayo i-income.
Okay.
Then no Department of Labor. Once so phase kuleyo then it means thina sizokuthumelela i-SMS. So wonke umuntu applyile whether uqualifyile or awuqualifyanga linda there will be an SMS ekutshela ukuthi now you have qualified so uya ku stage 2. I-stage 2 esokuthi ufuna ukubhadalwa kanjani ufuna imali yakho uyifumane ngoliphi uhlobo. Mawungayitholanga iyakuthumela uzofumana i-SMS eshoyo ukuthi unfortunately your application was unsuccessful.
And then mawuthola ukuthi i-application yakho was unsuccessful, it means ukuthi awuqualifyanga through all lama criteria kade usitshela wona Ntokazi, and that means ukuthi you probably getting some sort of imali somewhere as a stipend or income. Okay. All right, Ntokazi, just hold it there. I want to go back to Kelly. Kelly, I've been giving you a little bit of a break because we started the show with you for 2 segments. But Kelly, I mean, let's go back to some of these issues that we were talking about. I mean, when it comes to workers like freelancers now, I mean, I'm saying this because I am a freelancer and I work with freelancers in studio. Everybody's always saying, Alicia, push the freelancers agenda here. Are they included or excluded under this new directive? And under what basis could they be excluded or included?
So the specific wording of the directive says you are eligible if through no fault of your own you are not registered with UIF. In other words, you should have been registered. So for all of the people, let's use your example, involved in film and television. So we've got our cast, our crew, everyone has non-employer contracts with the production company and with the broadcaster.
Yes.
You're all of your contracts specifically state that you are not employees, even though if we take the law, it's called the dominant impression test, and we look at the criteria for being an employee versus being a contractor, you all look like workers. You all look like employees.
True.
But your contracts specifically state that you are not an employee and not entitled to the benefits of an employee. Personally, I think that specifically with the film and television industry, there are a lot of problems, and that's due to change through a different process. But in no way are you eligible for the TERS benefit on paper. What has been happening, although this is somewhat aside, is the Department of Labour before the lockdown had issued requests asking for input on having certain persons within the film and television industry deemed to be employees for certain provisions.
Yes.
There's been one NEDLAC meeting, and there was supposed to be another to finalize what the industry and the department wanted to achieve. Unfortunately, that's had to be put on hold because of the lockdown and because of Corona. But in terms of your industry, of which I have a close association, but very different, there are developments happening. But for the purposes of TERS, unless you can show that you should have been a UIF contributor, you are not eligible. And that's very unfortunate and perhaps a bit unfair.
It's very unfortunate indeed,
very
Kelly, and very unfair. I mean, we're paying 25% tax from our salaries. But okay, Kelly, before I let you go, I mean, where can people get more info around this directive, just to familiarize themselves with the terms and conditions and how it actually works? Because I understand that we might not have had enough time to go through all the merits of your application that were made before the new directive.
Sure. So my clients, the Casual Workers Advice Office, are on the forefront of dealing with these issues, and they're the ones that really know the ins and outs. I don't mean to flood them with phone calls for advice, but if people call UIF directly or the Casual Workers Advice Office, these are the two best places that I can think of to look for assistance with regards to TERS. But always try UIF first. And if you don't come right, then look onto civil society organizations that might be involved in your area or within your field. If you are belonging to a union or a collective bargaining organization, speak to them first.
All right, Kelly, and they can also contact you, right? Can they contact you?
Via email.
Okay.
The email address is info@cropmanlaw, which is KROPMANLAW.co.za.
All right, Kelly Cropman from Kelly Cropman Inc. All right, and Mbugeli, we also have those details. Yes, Kelly, go ahead.
Sorry, the name of the firm is Cropman Attorneys.
Cropman Attorneys. Thank you so much, Kelly. All right, that is Kelly Cropman Mbugeli from Cropman Attorneys. Uyasho ke Mbugeli ukuthi ungahamba uye lapha uye ku website yabo. Nathi we do have it on Facebook as well as on Mungasibuza on email sinayo lama lokhuzana lama details ukuthi nawe uzifamiliarize phela ngale new directive ukuthi izosebenza kanjani phela njengoba eseshilo uMinister uthula ukuthi if umuntu oqashiwe umqashi wakho engazange akuregister ku-UIF usungayihambela wena ubatshela ukuthi angiregistiwe, I haven't been earning income, nansi ama documents wami ngicela ninginikeze imali. Let's go back to Sizodwa now. Sizodwa, I hope we still have you on the line. So Ntokazi, I mean, as we wrap up the show now, let's talk about good news. I mean, we hear ukuthi senikhokhele over 160,000, but we know unemployment figures South Africa, they are staggering. Over 6 million people are sitting at home and unemployed. Ntokazi, nizokwenza kanjani ngalaba abanye abantu abangakalokhuza abangaka-approve? Because as I understand, according to SASSA CEO, it had 3.1 applications have already been processed. So that means it's only half of the 6 million yabantu laba ekumele bathole le grant. It seems like nisenomsebenzi omningi, Ntokazi.
Umsebenzi usemningi, but into esicelayo ukuthi kunabantu abahlele ekhaya abangaka-apply abaqualifya.
Yebo.
Le genge e-applyayo kuninzi engaqualify. So ukuze sikwazi ukufikelela kunalo hlele ekhaya onganayo ilona information, sise-processing yokuthola ama-volunteers.
Okay.
Sizoqala ukuthi ama-volunteers ethu azama-based bazokwazi ukuthi basihambisele le information in terms of communication njengoba bowusho ukuthi siwiki kulelo cala.
Okay.
Then njengoba behambisa information mabathola ukuthi umuntu udinga uncedo bavele bamncede noku-apply.
Okay.
And then in that process sizokwazi ukuthi si-speed up ne-process yethu ye-turnaround time yama-applications.
Okay,
So
Ntokazi.
far siqale ngenumber enkulu and it was a little bit difficult ukuyi-process through. But now that systems that now they are talking to each other, including kuma-partners, abo SARS, kanjalo, nabo Department of Labor. So turnaround time yet, it has reduced kuleya number a month now. She reduced it to at least 2 weeks.
All right.
Though 2 weeks is still a long period, but siyazama masingathola ama-volunteers sizokwazi ukuthi labantu esibafaka ku-system definitely they've pre-qualified. Danokuthola nje wonke umuntu nongaqualify, then bese iyalona iyaclock.
Ngiyeza nami Ntokazi ngizovolunteer lapho. Thank you so much. Usizodwa Mvulane, thank you so much Ntokazi for your time today and ukuthi clarify a lot of questions that our viewers were having. Usizodwa Mvulane is the regional manager. Yes, Sambugeli, she has been trying to get around the issues ekade nisibuza sona mayelana nale 350 rand, and of course uKelly Cropman ubesitshela ngale new directive ecishe enkantolo kodwa athi minister ithini ngisheshe ngishintshe nginenzele ukuthi kuizinto kube lula. Thank you so much Mbukeli for joining us. Mina I'm out of time. Asihlangane futhi same time same place mesa siphinda sibonana. Eyakajala Ntokazi ithi nje imthanda nonke emakhaya, please be safe, nihlale emakhaya. Bye bye.
Hallelujah.